So since Flow Combat publicly announced it, they're 100% right. The flyweight division is going. I did kind of call it. Sadly, because I called it and because I was publicly talking about it first, I probably was, because of that, first in the chopping block. So sadly, I am not a UFC fighter anymore. I am a free agent. You know, it's part of the sport. This stuff happens, and just, again, sadly, we didn't pick up enough fan base for the UFC. I appreciate every opportunity I was given. Sadly, again, 29 days, 2 fights, 54 pounds to prepare for my last 2 opponents, given my last fight wasn't the best, and I won my first one by a lucky knockout, so I was on the chop block because of it. So, who wants to sign me? I'm looking for a fight. But until then, I'm doing my thing moving forward, and again, flyweights that are not moving up to bantamweight are not getting allowed, like myself. Keep doing your thing, head up, and let's see where the world takes us from there. We got to put on a show.
Just letting y'all know that they just cut me, and along with a lot of other flyweights. I'm pretty surprised. Very surprised. I'm not surprised in as the aspect as far as like fans and the promotional side, but I'm surprised that they let this happen, that we couldn't have people you know, tune in to us or give us the respect, because half of these guys aren't even as good as the rest of the people in the flyweight division. They're just bigger, you know, and we have the most technique, we have the most speed. You know, it's not like we don't have knockouts in the flyweight division. We have some of the best fighters that you've ever seen in the United States, in the world, anywhere. Like, half of the most technical, best fighters that you'll see are small. You know, all people care about is 2 titans going against each other and beating the shit of each other, and that's fine. If that's what you want to watch, that's what you want to watch. I mean, my duty is to go out there and to try to kill, but there's somebody inside of the octagon that's helping the other guy not get killed. You know, that's the difference. So people need to have a broader aspect on this sport. People are using analogies like ESPN. ESPN just literally got a contract, which I think that it has to do with that too. ESPN having the contract, and people, and they're just wanting giants. They're wanting the LeBron Jameses. They're wanting the people that, the marketability. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's bullshit at the end of the day, and it's all of our faults. It's all of our fault. You know, I could have been better at marketing. You know, I could have sat there and talk to these guys and put some sense into their heads, or sense into the people's heads. I just don't have a big enough following for that. You know, that's what's up to you guys. I've done my part. I've tried to do my part, and to try to have a following and to try to show what I'm about. But people just don't want to see it. People want to see the LeBron Jameses, those type of people. And it kind of makes me sick, to be honest, because you got people in ESPN, literally ESPN, using basketball analogies for the UFC. I was told that me slamming myself on my head against Jose Torres, that it was just like own goals in basketball. So you're going to tell me that in a fighting aspect, it's just like shooting own goals. So you're telling me that you don't know shit about the mixed martial arts world, and you're just putting it next to a basketball analogy just so the tards can find out. This should be the biggest thing in the world, and people are so enslaved to the system and media that they don't actually see the most purest sport ever in the history of mankind in front of them, and all they want to do is just talk about basketball, talk about baseball, which really, it does take talent to do those, and it does take a certain specific, you know, size or anything like that. But still, you got 2 people. It's just like the gladiator times. How are people are so pussified now? It's crazy to me. I love the sport. I've done every single sport ever. Like, I mean, even if you can believe it, I'm a basketball player too. I love playing basketball. I idolize people like Muggsy Bogues, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty good at basketball. If anybody wants to challenge me, bring it. But I've done about every sport that you can do, because I'm very out there. I'm very athletic. I love doing it. But as far as mixed martial arts is everything combined. Everything combined into one specific thing, what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And you got basketball players dribbling a fucking ball. A ball. But I'm just placing that because of the new ESPN stuff. The new ESPN stuff is making me sick. They're making these guys... Well, when ESPN has a broader spectrum of what the UFC is, then they can start to, commentate well, do the stuff well. But right now, they're making a joke out of us. Fox Sports 1 has done a very good job onto keeping the flyweight division decently relevant through fight nights and stuff like that. But as far as ESPN, yeah, you're gonna have fights. But have you ever seen a little fighter on ESPN boxing? Like a little fight? No, they put those guys on the undercard. They do that. That's retarded. And that is literally sizist. If you want to get down to it, it's sizist. And it's crazy to me that half of these athletes, oh yeah, well, you got ᴅᴏᴡᴛᴛɪɪ. He's the biggest guy in the world and he can lift the most weights. But I bet you, I fight ᴅᴏᴡᴛᴛɪɪ, I am beating the brakes off of that motherfucker. I don't care if he's 450 pounds. I have technique and I have cardio against somebody like that. But if you ask some regular Joe, they're sitting there like, ᴅᴏᴡᴛᴛɪɪ gonna scrape this little midget, But that's the spectrum to where people don't understand. They don't understand what technique is. They don't understand what mixed martial art is, right? And it's hard for me. It's a hard pill to swallow. And the UFC just made one of the biggest mistakes. They're probably going to end up putting back the flyweight division. But they did it to 155 in 2007. As you remember, they're about to cut the 155-pounders. They thought the 155-pounders were too slow and too little, right? They wanted to just see some killers on the loose, some big-ass motherfuckers, which I love seeing DC fight. I love seeing John Jones fight. But I also love watching Demetrius Johnson fight. I also love watching half of the people in my division. It's crazy to me that I have to sit here and know that my job has just been taken away from me, that I've worked for my whole life, literally my whole life. I've been doing this shit since I was 6 years old. I was wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu. I was watching Tito Ortiz, wanting to be the best of the best in the world, just like them. It's cool. I'm fine. I'm going to be a mixed martial artist no matter what. But I think that it's going to be really hard for me to swallow this pill and to get through it. But I'm going to be fighting another promotion. I'm going to be a champion in another promotion. And then, I'm going to floss on half of these guys. I'm going to be fighting at 115. And the people that are sitting there like, oh, 115 ain't shit. Then I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You have a problem if you don't think that 1FC 115-pound division isn't marketable. Like, in Asia, they know about mixed martial arts. They know about respect. They know about the discipline that the UFC wants to put on as a sham, pretty much. They don't give a fuck about their discipline or respect or anything like that. They care about this. And half of the people are prostitutes. I'm a prostitute to this MMA game. I will fight for money. I will do anything that you tell me to for money. But at the end of the day, principles have to be put in. I know I'm going to be signed. I know I'm an articulate fighter. I know that I can fight anybody in the world and beat them. But still, at the end of the day, it's a hard pill to swallow that I'm not in the UFC anymore. UFC it is just a name. I am a mixed martial artist, but still, it's very hard. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and